Are you wondering how you can create a dog logo in Illustrator? If your answer is yes, then you're in the right place. Hi there everyone, my name is Andrei Marius. I've been working in Illustrator for over 10 years, and in this Envato Tuts tutorial, I'll put my experience to use as I show you step by step how you can create this cute dog logo using Adobe Illustrator. Before we begin, make sure to check out Envato Elements, where you can get unlimited downloads of stock videos, music, graphics, including dog logos, photos, fonts, and many more. You can subscribe right now with the link in the description. Let's move to Illustrator to create a new document. Select pixels from this drop-down menu. Set the width to 850 and the height to 600 pixels. Make sure that the color mode is set to RGB and the resolution to 72 pixels per inch, and then you can click this button to create your new document. Press Ctrl and minus to zoom out a bit. Go to Window in the menu bar and first of all make sure that the control panel is active, and then open all the panels that have this check mark. Once you're done, go to View and Show Grid to enable the grid. Go again to View, but this time to Snap to Grid to enable the Snap to Grid feature. And for this tutorial, you need a grid line every 5 pixels, so let's go to Edit, Preferences, Guides and Grid. All you have to do is enter 5 in this grid line every box. Click OK to apply the changes. And let's start by selecting the ellipse tool from your toolbar. You can either click and drag to create a new shape, or you can simply click on your artboard, set the width to 30 pixels and the height to 10 pixels. Click OK to create your new shape. Let's focus on the appearance panel. Select the stroke and remove the color. Select the fill and replace this white with 71, 32 and 65. Move to the swatches panel and quickly click this button to save this fill color, as you'll need this color throughout this tutorial. And now let's save this shape as an airbrush. Focus on the brushes panel. Open the flyout menu and go to select all unused to select all your unused brushes. Click this button to remove them, and then click this other button to save your selected shape as an airbrush. Keep these settings as they come. Click OK to add your brush inside the brushes panel, and now feel free to press the delete key to remove this shape. Let's continue with the rectangle tool from your toolbar. Again, click on your artboard to create a 110 by 85 pixels shape. Focus on the control panel and make sure that the alignment is set to artboard, and then simply click these two buttons to easily center this shape. Let's press Ctrl and plus a few times to zoom in on this shape. Switch to the selection tool and use it to move this shape so it snaps to the grid. Replace the fill color with 196, 125 and 32. Select the stroke and apply your art brush. Switch to the direct selection tool. Click and drag to select the top side of this rectangle. Press the delete key to remove it. Select this right point and drag it 20 pixels to the left. Keep in mind that you can have a look inside the info panel to know exactly when you get to 20 pixels. Let's move to this other anchor point and drag it 20 pixels to the right. Also, remember that you can hold down the shift key to constrain the movement of this point. Continue to hold down the shift key to select both of these points. Focus on the control panel and set the corners radius to 10 pixels. And now reselect the rectangle tool from your toolbar, and let's use it to create a 30 by 35 pixels shape. Focus on the appearance panel. First of all, remove the stroke color. Select the fill and replace the color with 225, 156 and 68. And now go to Effect, Warp and Arc Upper. Check this horizontal box. Set the bend to 75%. Click OK to apply this effect, and now use the selection tool to drag this shape in this exact location. Reselect the rectangle tool from your toolbar and use it to create a 30 by 40 pixels shape. Focus on the appearance panel. Now you can press Shift and X to quickly swap the fill and stroke color settings. Select the stroke and apply your brush. Use again the direct selection tool to select this top side and delete it. Let's use the selection tool to move this shape in this exact location. And now use again the direct selection tool. Hold down the shift key to select both of these points. And again set the corner's radius to 10 pixels. Now to move a bit faster, you can press the M hotkey to quickly reselect the rectangle tool from your toolbar. Again, click on your artboard to create a 50 by 10 pixels shape. Select the stroke and apply your art brush. Use again the direct selection tool to select the top side and remove it. Use the selection tool to move this path in this exact location. And then reselect the rectangle tool from your toolbar, this time to create a 60 by 20 pixels shape. Focus on the appearance panel, start with the fill and set the color to 166, 95 and 2. Move to the stroke and first of all increase the weight to 10 points and then apply your saved color from the swatches panel. Let's switch to the direct selection tool and use it to drag this shape in this exact location. Select this point and remove it using this button. Hold down the shift key to select these 2 points and set the corner's radius to 8 pixels. And then continue with the ellipse tool from your toolbar. You can hold down the shift key as you click and drag to create a 50 pixel circle. Don't forget that you can have a look inside the info panel to know exactly when you get to 50 pixels. Reselect the direct selection tool from your toolbar and let's place this shape in this exact location. Select this point and press the delete key to remove it. Keep this resulting path selected and apply your art brush from the brushes panel. Now switch to the selection tool, hold down the shift key and use it to select this shape along with this one. Hold down the alt key and drag copies of your selection to the right somewhat like this. Use the reflect tool to flip these 2 copies like this. And let's move them in this exact location. Now you can focus on the layers panel. Select these 4 shapes and drag them below the other ones. Reselect the ellipse tool from your toolbar. Use it to create a 70 pixel circle. Move this shape in this exact location. Select the fill and remove the color. Select the stroke. Keep this color but increase the weight to 20 points. Also open the stroke flyout panel and select profile number 4 from this list. Now switch to the direct selection tool. Hold down the shift key to select both of these points and press the delete key to remove them. Go to Object, Path and Outline Stroke to expand this stroke. Use again the direct selection tool to select just this point and set the corner's radius to 2 pixels. And then return to the Layers panel to drag this shape below all of these other shapes. Now that you've got the body of this dog logo, let's continue with the head. Reselect the ellipse tool from your toolbar. Use it to create a 160 by 120 pixels shape. Fill this new shape with 225, 156 and 68. Switch to the selection tool and let's align this ellipse with the top edge of this shape. You can click this button to easily center your ellipse. And now holding down the shift key, let's drag this shape 15 pixels up, like this. Once you're done, go to Effect, Warp and Arc Upper. Check this horizontal box and set the bend to 40%. Click OK to apply this effect and then go to Object and Expand Appearance to expand your effect. Press Ctrl and plus to zoom in on this new shape and let's reselect the ellipse tool to create the nose. You can click and drag to create a 30 by 25 pixels shape. Fill this new shape with your saved color. Use the selection tool to move this shape in this exact location. Now hold down the shift key and drag this shape 65 pixels down like this. Return to the appearance panel, make sure that your fill is selected and go to Effect, Warp and Arc Upper. Check this horizontal box and drag the bend slider to -50%. Click OK to apply this effect. Return to the appearance panel and click this button to add a second fill for your selected shape. With this new fill selected, let's replace the color with 250, 207, and 152. Go to Effect, Path, and Offset Path. Set the offset to -10 pixels. Reselect this fill and go to Effect, Warp, and Arc. Check this horizontal box and this time set the bend to -40%. Click OK to apply this second effect. Reselect your top fill and go to Effect, Distort and Transform and Transform. And all you have to do is set the Smooth Horizontal Slider to -2 pixels. This will move your selected fill 2 pixels up. Let's click OK to apply this effect. Return to the ellipse tool and use it to create a 30 pixel circle. Switch to the selection tool and move this shape in this exact location. Hold down the Alt key and drag a copy of this circle like this. Now hold down the Shift key to select both of these circles and go to Object, Path, and Add Anchor Points to add 4 more anchor points for each of these circles. Switch to the Direct Selection tool so you can select these points. Remember to hold down the Shift key. Press the Delete key to delete these points. Go to Object, Path, and Join to join your two paths. Hold down the Shift key to select these 2 points and remove them using this button. And now you can press Shift and X, select the stroke, and apply your airbrush from the Brushes panel. Reselect the ellipse tool from your toolbar. Use it to create a 30 by 15 pixels shape. Again, you can press Shift and X to quickly swap the fill and stroke color settings. Keep this fill color, use the anchor point tool and click these 2 points to easily turn them into sharp points. Move this shape in this exact location and then use the direct selection tool to select just this point and drag it 15 pixels down like this. Now select this entire shape and go to Object, Path, and Offset Path. Set the offset to -5 pixels. Let's fill this new shape with white. Reselect the ellipse tool from your toolbar. Use it to create a 30 by 25 pixels shape. Fill this new shape with 251, 95, and 100. Move it in this location. Select this ellipse along with your white shape and then click this intersect button from the Pathfinder panel. Return to the ellipse tool and use it to create a 10 by 15 pixels shape. Fill this new ellipse with your saved color. Switch to the selection tool and let's move this shape like this. Make sure that you're leaving a 10 pixels gap between the right edge of the eye and the left edge of the nose. Reselect the ellipse tool and this time create a 20 by 15 pixels shape. Fill this new ellipse with 196, 125, and 32. Move this ellipse on top of this other shape like this. Now hold down the Shift key to select both of these shapes. Hold down the Alt key and click and drag to add copies. Use again this Reflect tool to flip your copies. And again, make sure that you have 10 pixels between the right edge of the nose and the left edge of this eye. Once you're done, select both of these shapes and go to Effect, Warp, and Arc Lower. As always, check this horizontal box, drag the bend slider to -50%, click OK to apply this effect, and now let's select just this shape and go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and Transform. Just set the angle to 45 degrees, click OK to rotate this shape, move to this other shape and go again to Effect, Distort and Transform and Transform, but this time set the angle to -45 degrees. Click OK to apply this effect and reselect the ellipse tool from your toolbar. Let's start by creating a 50 by 40 pixels shape. Fill it with 250. 207 and 152. Place it like this. Reselect the ellipse tool and this time create a 60 by 50 pixels shape. Place it like this. Hold down the Alt key and drag a copy of this shape to the right like this. Hold down the Shift key to select these three ellipses and go to Effect, Warp and Arc Upper. Check this horizontal box and drag the bend to -30%. Click OK to apply the effect and then go to Object and Expand Appearance to expand the applied effect. Continue with the rectangle tool and you can click on your artboard to create a 110 by 50 pixels shape. Let's click this button to center this shape and then drag it down like this. Now hold down the Shift key to select this rectangle along with these shapes. Click this button to unite them. Select your head shape and press Ctrl C to copy it and then Ctrl F to add a copy in front. Select this copy along with this shape and click this button and then return to the layers panel to simply drag this resulting shape right on top of your head shape. Once you're done, press Shift Ctrl and V to add a new copy of this head shape on top of the existing shapes. Select the fill and remove the color. Select the stroke and apply your art brush from the brushes panel. And now you need to use the direct selection tool to select just this point and cut the path using this button, which will adjust the look of this applied brush. Return to the ellipse tool and let's use it to create a 60 by 40 pixel shape. Select the stroke that's applied for this new shape and apply your art brush. Move this ellipse in this exact location and then use the direct selection tool to select just this point and remove it. Continue with the rectangle tool and this time create a 30 by 15 pixels shape. Move this rectangle in this location. Use the direct selection tool to select this point and set the corner's radius to 15 pixels. Select this point and press the delete key to remove it. And having the remaining path selected, let's apply again this art brush. Now reselect the ellipse tool and use it to create a 50 pixel circle. Press Shift and X to swap the fill and stroke color settings. Select the fill and replace the color with 196, 125, and 32. Let's move this circle in this exact location. Switch to the anchor point tool and click this point to turn it into a sharp point. Continue with the direct selection tool. Keep this point selected. First of all, drag it 25 pixels to the right and then 35 pixels up like this. Continue with this point and just drag the top handle like this. Now select this entire shape, press Ctrl C and then Ctrl F to add a copy in front. Use again this reflect tool to flip your copy like this. Move it to the right in this position and then go to Effect, Warp and Arc. Check this vertical box and set the bend to -15%. Click OK to apply the effect. Move to the first shape and go again to Effect, Warp and Arc. Keep this vertical box checked, but change the bend to 15%. Click OK again to apply the effect. Select both of these shapes and go to Object and Expand Appearance to expand the applied effects. Move to the Appearance panel to select the stroke and apply your art brush. And again, you will need to use the direct selection tool to select these top points and cut the paths to adjust the look of the applied art brushes. Once you're done, move to the Layers panel to select both of these shapes. Drag them in the bottom of the Layers panel. Press Ctrl and minus to zoom out a bit. Reselect the ellipse tool and use it to create a 190 pixel circle. Remove the stroke color that's applied for this shape. Select the fill and replace the color with 175, 228, and 237. Let's center this shape and drag it in this position. Move it in the bottom of the layers panel. Press Ctrl and 0 to zoom back on your entire artboard. Select all the shapes that make up your logo and press Ctrl and G to group them. Click these two buttons to easily center your logo. And for the final touch, let's create the background. Select the rectangle tool from your toolbar. Use it to create a shape that covers your entire artboard. Again, center it using these two buttons. Drag it below your group and replace the fill color with 250, 237 and 182. With this final touch, your design is complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Remember to hit that like button as it lets me know that I did a good job. Subscribe if you aren't already, and don't forget to click that little bell icon to be notified of any new tutorials. I'm Andrei Marius, and I'll see you in the next video.